All right, guys, today we're going to be doing 10.7. This video is going to be for Tuesday's work and Wednesday's work. So the first thing that we need to discuss are inverse relations and inverse function. Whenever you're talking about inverse relation, all you're doing is switching the roles of your x and your y. Usually your x depends on what it is that you have for your value for your y. So all we're going to be doing is switching our x and our y. Inverse function, all it's telling you is that you have x to the -1, and then, f of -1 to the x. So when you see that, that's all that it means, is that they're looking for the inverse. But for all of these, what you're essentially doing is switching your x and y. So let's look at the very first one. So the first thing I want to do is switch the placement of x and y. So instead of where I have y, I'm going to put x. Where I have x, I'm going to put y. After that, all I need to do is solve these for y. So in order to solve this for y, the first thing I want to do is get rid of this 2. So I'm going to subtract. Keep in mind, these are not like terms, so I'm just going to write what I see. Once I do that, I have 3y. Whenever I have 3y, that means I'm multiplying. Opposite of multiplication, divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. When I do that, I have y is equal to x minus 2 over 3, and that's my answer. Again, all I need to do first is switch where these are. So I'm going to put x is equal to -5, y minus 7. Now I need to get the y by itself. So the first thing that I want to do is get rid of this -7. Opposite of -7 is +7. So I'm going to add 7 on both sides. These are not like terms, so I write what I see. Once I do that, I have -5y. Again, this is multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is dividing. So my answer is going to be y is equal to x plus 7 over -5, and that's it. Sometimes you guys should be used to this. This looks like a fraction, but we're used to this when it's in the form of y equals mx plus b. So x equals 2 over 3 y minus 5. Again, the first thing I want to do is get rid of this number that's by itself, which is -5. Opposite of -5, +5. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. These are not like terms, so x plus 5 equals 2 over 3y. In order to get rid of a fraction, you want to give me the inverse. So you're going to flip the number. So instead of 2 over 3, it's now going to be 3 over 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 over 2. That will cancel this out. And 3 over 2 times x will give me 3 over 2x. 3 times 5 gives me 15. And then 15 over 2 is what I will write. Now, if you want to give me what 15 over 2 is, which is 7.5, if you want to write that, I'm perfectly fine with that. So if you want to write 3 over 2x plus 7.5, that is the exact same. So either or of those will work. Now, sometimes they'll give you one that says f of x. Don't worry about that. You're still doing the same thing. Treat this f of x as if it is a y. So if you like it better to say y, just make it say y. After that, all you need to do is switch them just like I said before. So x equals y squared plus 5. First thing again that I need to get rid of is this plus 5. So I'm going to say -5 minus 5. So I have x minus 5 equals y squared. Now, I need to think, what is the opposite of squared? The opposite of squared, of course you should remember, is square root. So those cancel, and y is equal to the square root of x minus 5. And that's my answer. For the next one, again, if you don't like it how it's stated, you could always rewrite it. And then of course, I need to flip the signs. So the x and y. So now I'm gonna say y plus 3 squared. Now, the opposite of squared, remember, is square root. So I'm gonna take the square root first. Those will cancel. So now I have the square root of x equals y plus 3. Now I need to get rid of that 3, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. These are not like terms. So I will put square root of x minus 3 is equal to y, and that is my answer. That's all I can do for that one. All right, last one. When you have f of x, again, you could write y. So now I need to flip them. So x equals square root y minus 2. The opposite of square root is squared. So I'm going to square the number. So these cancel. So now x squared is equal to y minus 2. Again, I need to get rid of that minus 2, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So now I have x squared plus 2 is equal to y, and that is my answer. All right, for today's lesson, I need you guys to make sure you do 1 through 6. And after that, like I said, this video is for 2 days. So once you complete this on Wednesday, you guys will need to do the IXL lesson that says find the inverse of the function. Keep in mind, you have to write down all of the questions and the work for you to receive credit. Have a good day.